Okay, good evening, everybody. And no, I'm not Dr. Joe, but Dr. Joe and Rhonda are traveling, coming back from Texas back to Florida after their daughter's wedding. And they asked if some of us would help with the program tonight. So I'm going to host, and I have three fantastic presenters to help me tonight. Donni Alvarenga, wave Donni so everybody knows who you are. I got Karen Marshall. Hi, Karen, and Beth. Beth, give us a wave. Okay, so these guys are all going to help me tonight, and we're going to go through a couple different things. The first thing that we like to do on this program, if this is the first time you've ever been on, we like to talk about what's coming up on the calendar, and we've got several things. And I'm going to go through what I've got, and Beth and Donni and Karen, if I've missed anything, please let me know and jump in here. So the first thing coming up is this Thursday, that's the 26th, and that's 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central Time. There is a trilogy presentation by Dan Valentine, and there is a link. Donni has put the link out there on the TSFL Power Winners page, and it'll be out there, and I'm sure we will highlight that again a couple times before Thursday. Fantastic opportunity for you to invite your potentials and your clients because it will showcase both the overall program and health coaching opportunities. So you don't want to miss that if you've got somebody that that can attend that.
Neva, can I say something real quick about that one?
Sure.
I don't know if everybody here is familiar with Synduit, but a lot of coaches through Take Shape for Life are using a platform to manage their social media and things like events. And I know that we all see posts by other coaches and we want to share them. And normally that might be okay, but with this new Synduit platform, if you share another coach's invitation link, you will be giving all of your leads to that coach, okay? So it's very important that if you see a Synduit page link for another coach and Take Shape for Life, that you not share that event invitation, okay? Be sure to connect with your business coach to find out what the correct link would be and how you can kind of present these invitations.
Hey guys, if you're not talking, can you mute? We've got some static on the line here. Is there anything else there, Donni? Sorry.
No, I just wanted to make sure that coaches knew that, you know, in general, when you see a before and after picture, when you see an inspirational post, you're more than welcome to copy that post onto your computer and repost it. I always encourage you not to share another coach's post because then you're going to aim everybody to them. But with these new Synduit platforms, basically what happens is that for those that have an account, they have a landing page specific for that event and people register, and so we get to capture the leads, okay? So talk to your business coach to find out whether Synduit would be a good thing for you or not. But either way, you want to know what it is that you want to be promoting. You just definitely don't want to be sharing somebody's invitation link.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much, Donni. Kim, did you have a question about that?
Can you spell Synduit? Because I'm not sure if I were to ask about it. How do you spell that? When you say Synduit, what is that exactly? You keep saying Synduit.
It's a platform that helps manage your social media posts. So it's SYNDUIT. And really, the whole point about Synduit is a little bit of an afterthought. Really, I just wanted to caution all the coaches, as you see other coaches posting things, you don't want to just copy and paste it, okay? Specifically for events.
Okay, good. Thank you, Donni. The second thing that we have coming up on the calendar of events is next Wednesday, that's June 1st. That's going to be at 7:30 Eastern Time, 6:30 Central Time. And this is called Options to Build Your Business Outside of Social Media. So you all know that social media can be a fantastic way to build your business, but it's not the only way. And for a lot of us that have been around for a while, that definitely was not the way that we started our businesses. And so there's a couple of folks. It's actually Dr. Joe's sponsor, Ron Geltz, who is hosting this along with one other leader. And they are going to share different ways to build your business without using social media. And that is a 30-minute call, and it will be, we'll put the link out, it'll be out sometime next week, but you can go ahead and put that on your calendar for June 1st. And I think that would be beneficial for everybody, whether you're a big social media person or not. Okay. All right, the next thing on our calendar, I told you we had a lot of things. You all know that the boot camp is coming around again, which is pretty darn exciting. But they were just announced last night on the leadership call that it's going to be held on Monday nights, not on Saturday mornings. So we're going to have our normal leadership call, which comes on at 9 o'clock Eastern time. And about 15 minutes into that call, they're going to break and move into boot camp. And so that is actually going to start on June 6th. That's Monday, June 6th. There's going to be a lot more detail put out in Coach Connection this week. They're going to detail it all and identify it. But the idea is that this is for coaches that are senior coach and above. So if you're real close to making senior coach this month, you want to work really hard to rank up to do that so that you can be eligible for this boot camp. They are fantastic. Many of us went through the last one that was completed on Saturday mornings. We learned a ton of information, and in fact, we're going to be sharing pieces of that information tonight and going forward. So that's the next boot camp coming up. And then, of course, we've got National Convention. You've heard us. Oh, let me back up. Debbie?
Yes. Do you know how long it's going to be? Because on Saturday, it was about an hour and 10 minutes. You know, would it be still the same an hour and 10 minutes? Because it's so good.
I think they're going to try to do like 45 because they're going to do 9:15, so 9:15 to 10, I'm thinking, but be flexible.
Oh, no, I want more time because it's quiet time, no babies, no phones. It's wonderful. Go on. Yeah. 9:15 to 10:30. Woo! Okay,
good. All right. And then, of course, National Convention's coming up July 21st through the 24th. And the new announcement this week out on Coach Connection is there is a preliminary agenda out there that's available. So those of you who have not been before, or even if you have, you can look and see how is the day going to be laid out. The actual workshops are not there yet, but the agenda is. So you can start to figure out how you're going to work on that one. And if there's anybody on here that is not signed up, you're going to want to do that. Check with your business leader because you don't want to miss this. And it's going to be held in Austin, Texas this year. Okay. Any other events, Donni, Beth, or Karen, that I missed? No? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Well, that was our calendar of events. The next thing on our agenda tonight is we do have some new coaches, and we love to get to introduce new coaches whenever they come on board. And so, Beth, I'm going to start with you and let you introduce who you have new in your organization.
Okay, thank you, Neva, and hi, everybody. Good evening. And yeah, I'm excited because Nydia Marrero, and boy, I don't know if Nydia is related to Natasha Marrero here, but there are two Marreros on the screen. Anyway, Nydia has been a health coach for a little while and doing incredibly well. And I know I had not introduced her to everyone, so I wanted to introduce Nydia, who's also here in Winter Park, Florida, and started off as a client of mine. And then Nydia has two coaches that she'll introduce. I saw Barb on the line here, and then also Duke. So Nydia, so I'll have you introduce yourself and say hi to everybody. You can unmute yourself.
Okay, everybody can hear me? Good evening, everyone. I'm Nydia Marrero, and as Beth said, I went through the program myself last year and lost 30 pounds, 2 months and a half. And after that, I was completely amazed. My life was transformed. And of course, Beth was after me for 8 months to become a health coach. And finally, I decided to take on the challenge and be out of the closet and finally say, why not? Let me pass that on, what I learned and what I know. And I've always been a coach naturally. I like to motivate people. I like to, when people talk to me, and all my friends know this, I like to leave them with inspiration. I've always been a coach naturally, and health is something definitely something that I'm very passionate about. So why not do it and maybe get paid for it? It's kind of like a sweet combination, but I do it more for really as a rewarding thing. I'm a real estate agent full time, so this actually gives me more passion than doing the real estate after 10 years of doing the same. So I don't know, we'll see where this takes me, but I happen to have wonderful friends, wonderful sphere of influence through my networking, and two of my good friends and colleagues decided to trust us, and Beth is actually doing a fantastic job with helping me and my friends becoming very successful. So I'd like to introduce you to Barbara Stewart, who became a health coach not too long ago, and she's actually doing the program 5-on-1. She didn't have to lose much weight, but she wanted to feel what it was like to experience that. And I'm coaching her, and Beth is coaching both of us as health coaches. So it's a very interesting journey, and I'm learning every day. Beth is wonderful again. I am very thrilled to be part of this fantastic company, organization. I cannot believe her passion about helping others. It's amazing. It's beyond making money, I think this is what everyone is here to do, to pass it on. We have a story to tell, and of course it's a business, but I don't know, it's a business with heart, and I like that. And also my other friend Duke, who's also in the video chat, and she's a literally brand new coach. She signed up yesterday, and she's gonna be doing a lot of training with us. And she's very passionate about health. She's a great chef. So I'm actually learning a lot of things from her. And she has her own story to tell about diabetes, and how she was able to revert that through food and becoming healthier. So maybe they want to say something, Barbara and Duke? Barbara. You have to unmute. Okay.
Yeah, there's Barbara.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm just really excited about this program. Like Nydia said, I didn't really have a lot of weight to lose, but we always have those few extra inches that we want to get rid of to feel happy about ourselves. And I really just wanted, if my thought was, I would obviously get into the coaching and help others, because that's kind of my passion, just like Nydia. We like to help others succeed, and then that, is our success. And so by doing the program, I wanted to be able to experience it, because I'm going to sell the program, and coach people through the program. I want to be able to speak from experience. So that's kind of why I did it. And then my husband, who was anti-program, anti-everything, and didn't want to do this and thought it was like not a good idea. Within a few days, he was like asking me a lot of questions about it. And so he joined the program with me. So the both of us are doing it side by side, and it's a great story to tell for the two of us to go out and share with our friends. And it's wildfire. I mean, you start losing the weight and people start asking and they want to know, and it just kind of goes from there. So pretty excited about it and ready to get the coaching training underway, just so that I can get started when my first person says, okay, I'm ready, sign me up. Because I have people that have kind of teased about it, but like I really need to figure out how to lock them in and get them going. So
Great.
Yeah. Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, as Neva already said, I had experience that I was diagnosed with diabetes, and like Barbara, I didn't have weight to lose, but my passion was always cooking and looking what
Duke, can I stop you just a second?
Yeah.
There's a lot of static on the line, and I'm not sure if it's coming from your phone or somebody else. So can everybody mute and just let her talk? Oh. Okay, go ahead and give it a try again.
Okay. So my story was basically when I was diagnosed with diabetes, and it took me a while to understand.
Duke, I'm going to stop you again. There's just so much static. I want people to hear your story, but we can't hear it tonight.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, but I think next week let's try it again so that we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. Neva, there are a lot of people who are not muted, so I'm wondering if it's the other lines. I'm not sure. But anyway, I just noticed that. So there are 4 that are not muted.
Okay, let me just try everybody.
Okay. Yeah, it's Duke's line.
Yeah.
Can she maybe call over the phone and talk?
Let's try and catch it next week if we can. Is that okay, Beth? If you can
Sure, absolutely.
try to get it in next week. Okay.
But I will say Duke as a new coach as of yesterday.
Fantastic.
So, with Nydia, and she's also down here in Florida, and is passionate about health and wellness, and is going for a certification in nutrition. And yeah, she's going to be awesome. So
Great.
we'll catch you next time, Duke.
Well, welcome all 3 of you. Love to have you on here. And Karen, do you have somebody tonight to introduce?
Yes, I do. I would like to introduce Karen Byrne from Medford, New Jersey. She's a new coach and is suffering right now from bronchitis and having a cough. So she's not going to be able to talk, but she was a client of mine. And after 2.5 weeks on the program, she decided to become a coach. She has such a great heart for helping other people, and she wants to pay it forward. And she already has her mom on the program and is just very excited about being able to help others in her community and in her world. So say hi to Karen Byrne.
Thank you very much. And Karen, welcome. Welcome to all our new health coaches. We're glad you're with us tonight, and we look forward to hearing more from you and hope that you join us every week. And so we want to go ahead and get started with our main training topic. Oh, can everybody hear me okay?
Do you want to mute everybody, Neva?
Yep, I'm going to have to. Okay. Can you hear me? Just nod. Okay. All right. So here we go. The thing I wanted to remind everybody is already this month we've had 2 great topics. The first one we had was overcoming objections. Fantastic topic. So for those of you that are new, you may even want to go back and watch these. And the second one was moving from weight loss coaching to optimal health coaching. So we had excellent tips on both of those. But tonight's topic is on coaching clients, and specifically we're from the point that once the order is placed, talking to the client, getting them set up for that first important week and then beyond. So we've divided this into 4 sections, and the first section we have is going to be in the talking about the welcome letter and setting expectations. But before we do that, I do want to say one other thing. You know, Take Shape for Life does provide the blueprint for our business, but we all have our own preferences. And that just means you may hear a few variations between some health coaches on how we handle topics. And that's just based on our own experiences and our personality. And that's absolutely okay. You may hear something that you like, or you may say, no, I don't really want to do it that way. But there's going to be some variations, and that's okay. And one of the other things we're going to cover tonight is we're going to be referencing a number of links and documents. And because of that, don't worry about getting down exactly where those are or what those are, because along with the recording, those links will be made available out on the TSFL Power Winners page after the call. So we'll make sure that everybody gets those. So to get us started tonight on our first topic, Beth is going to cover the welcome letter and setting expectations for the new client. So Beth?
Thank you very much. So especially for some of you who are new coaches, what we always do is when we do bring on a brand new client and we've talked to them on the phone and we've created their order and set up their account, we send them a welcome email. You know, welcome to the program. Attached is your condiment list. We had different attachments to the email. Be sure to contact me when you receive your shipment so we can walk through the order or the program and answer questions. So we used to have those templates and then have all these attachments. Well, now we have something that's very simplified, and I am going to share my screen and just briefly show you this document. But what it is a welcome to Take Shape for Life letter, so that you don't have to attach all these documents yourself. So I will show you this briefly. There it is. And okay, let's see. There it is. And I'm going to share with you what I do with this. So after I have created that first order for the client, I do write them a very brief email just saying, hey, congratulations and welcome. Your order has been placed. And attached is our welcome to Take Shape for Life letter. And I do set expectations here because, as you're going to see in this letter, there's a lot of information. And there are quite a few links for the quick start guide, some of the documents they're going to need, our health assessment, Dr. Anderson's Stop Challenge Choose ebook, all sorts of things, how to get started on your program. But I do say in my email, I think this is important, that there are a lot of links and documents in this one letter, so don't be overwhelmed. I just want you to know that everything is here for you in one place. So when you need to access some of these documents or go back and remind yourself of some of these tips, you'll know exactly where to go. So as you'll see here, there are tips on how to get started, which we do review with the client, a review of the program. There's your food journal, a little discussion on exercise, all the support tools we have, Dr. Anderson's books that are available as part of the program. So, and you'll see more links here. So anyway, this is new. All of our support calls are on here in one place, our doctors and nurses support calls that we have each week. And you can subscribe to the podcasts here as well. So everything you need is in one place. And so now you all have this document. So when you have a new client, you send them a note, and attached is our welcome email with all the links and documents you'll want to have. Don't be overwhelmed, but what I will share with them is what I really do want them to do is complete the well-being assessment, and I want them to start reading Dr. Anderson's Stop Challenge Choose ebook to get them prepared in advance of their shipment arriving. So that's pretty brief, and as Neva said, there'll be a link for that welcome email. So that's what we're all sending out now. And it's pretty awesome. So that's step number one.
Okay. Thank you, Beth. That's a great start. And I'm going to cover the next area, which is the night before call. And again, because we've got some new tools and some new links, it does make life a lot simpler. But as Beth said, typically in your welcome letter, we talk about something called a night before call. And that's going to be a new term to your new client. And it just means before you start on the program. And ideally the day before you start, so it's fresh in their mind. We want to talk with you. We want to go over details. We want you to hit the ground running. And so you may talk to them about it when you first help them place the order, and then also put it in that welcome letter that Beth was talking about. What I do is once I see the email, the shipping notice, when they're going to get their box, I actually call them. Not all coaches do that. You can let the new client call you. But I will tell you that for me, I have so many people that if I let them call me, it would probably come in the middle of me doing another call or something. So I try to schedule it. So I try to get it ahead of it. It's for that reason, and set up the time with them. And I will tell them that we're going to need 20 to 30 minutes. I do like to spend that much time with them. That's about how long I can.
I just turned it down.
Somebody just joined us. Can you mute your phone? Whoever just joined us. Okay. All right. So once I talk to them and I get that call set up and I tell them to plan on about 20 to 30 minutes, I ask them to look through that quick start guide. They have gotten that in that link letter that Beth just sent, or if you aren't using that yet, you've sent that to them separately. And also then in their box, I like them to pull out the green folder and have that ready. Inside the green folder is the quick start guide and the TSFL food journal. I also ask them to have ready the condiments and healthy fat recommendations. Those are the three pieces: quick start guide, TSFL food journal, and the condiments, because those are the ones that have the most complex information. You'll know right away based on their questions or how they're acting, whether or not they have read the information. Obviously, you don't want to beat them up if they haven't, but you do want to help them along and make sure that they are ready for day one. And how is it that you talk with them? It could be just over the phone. It could be a Zoom call like this. It could be a three-way conference call. It doesn't really matter as long as you get things set up. I actually don't like a Zoom on my night before call, and I'll tell you why. Because people are busy looking at you, and probably their first experience is with a Zoom call. I want them focused on the material. I want them focused on what it is that we're talking about. So that's just a preference that you have. I will tell you that this call is one of your most time-consuming calls you will ever have with a client. And it's a very critical one. It's the one that sets the relationship between you and your client. And it's the one that your client begins to see how helpful you can be to them. How many little tips and things can you share with them? And they're like, oh my gosh, I really need this person. And it really does solidify your relationship. So take your time and do it. I have found after 7 years of coaching, over 7 years of coaching, that if I do a really good job on the night before call and my first 4 days with a client, they do so much better that first month and beyond on their program than those that avoid it and don't want to do those first calls. So really try to encourage that. There are also some new things that are available to us that are called a text. It's called a texting campaign. But what it allows you to do is text the information even the night before to remind people that of the call, and to have the book ready, the take ship or the quick start guide and the food journal and the condiments. So you can text that information. It's right there in front of them, right there on their phone. They can't miss it. So those clients that are texting, it's a great way to do it. You can have that information saved in your phone and just copy and paste it to whoever it is you're going to be talking to. You can do that for each day that first week. And I've started doing that in the past 2 weeks, and I love it. And it just seems that the clients are more engaged right off the bat. I still talk to them, but it's like they're hearing from me twice in the same day. So that's something to think about there. The one other thing I want to just say is that there are videos, most of you know this, there are videos that are available of health coaches that talk to clients. And there is an email that goes out to them, and they need to opt in for that. Unfortunately, it's been a struggle, honestly, for my clients to get that perfect timing because you want to opt in the night before you start. And sometimes in Texas, we get our boxes so quick, they don't get that email for a while because they try to time it to when the person's supposed to get the box, and it just doesn't always work. So I include that in my text now and send that to them so they can look at it. And again, they're more likely to look at that video because it's right there on their phone and I've texted it to them. Or if they're not a texter, you can still put that short little message into the email. And again, all that information, where those are, those links is going to be available to you in a document. I just knew we had a lot of material to cover tonight, so that's why I didn't go into that. But speaking about what comes next, the days 1 through 4, I'd like to go ahead and have Karen jump online and share with us how she covers day 1 through 4 with new clients.
Well, hello again, everyone. I'm Karen Marshall. I live in Mount Dora, Florida. That's just north of Orlando. And these calls are so important. One of the most important, if not the most important thing we do is to really coach our clients and help them on their journey. So typically what I do on the night before call is schedule the time that I'm going to talk to them on the first day. I let them know I'm going to be talking to them every day for the first 3 to 4 days to make sure that they understand what they're doing, to answer any questions that they have, and to encourage them. And I usually like to schedule that day 1 call in the evening after they've had their lean and green. So they've had almost all of their meals when we talk. So a call might go like this. We've scheduled, let's say it's 7 o'clock, and I call, and my client's name is Mary. And I say, "Hi, Mary, how are you? This is Karen, your coach." And she'll answer how she's doing. And I say, "Well, congratulations on completing day 1. How are you feeling?" And I listen to what she says. And then I'm going to say, "Did you remember to weigh yourself in this morning? What's your starting weight?" I'll get their starting weight. Sometimes they even share their measurements. I don't always ask that, but that's in the food journal so they can keep track of that. And I then say, "Well, how about walking me through your day? What time did you get up? What time did you have your first meal? When was the next one?" I have them tell me exactly what they're doing step by step. And a lot of times people say, "Oh, well, I had breakfast at 7 and I had my next meal at 11. Well, see, I have to help them know that they don't want to go over 3 hours without eating. Anywhere from 2 to 2.5 to 3 hours, no more than 3. And walk them through the whole day. And I ask them about their water. How are you doing on your water? Did you get your water in? And they will respond. And so I congratulate them on any success that they've had. And most of them are so excited about the first day and will really do well. And ask them to tell me about their lean and green, what they're having, was it from the leanest list, and ask about the healthy fats, and so on. And then I end the call by saying, "Well, now, do you have any questions?" And then I answer any questions that they might have. And then we schedule our call for day number 2. And day number 2 is going to go very similar to what day number 1 was. "Hi, Mary, how you doing? How you feeling?" And sometimes in day number 2, they might start, feeling some headaches or tired because their body's detoxing and so forth. And if they say they have a little bit of headache, I say, "Don't worry. You can have some Powerade Zero or one of the soups, or you can take an Advil or Tylenol, whatever it is. But just be careful with that." And again, I go right through their day, ask them to share it, can ask if they have any other questions, and confirm our call time for the next day. And again, day number 3. "Wow, congratulations on completing day number 3. When you wake up tomorrow, you're probably going to be in fat burning. Isn't that exciting?" And I tell them that you're going to feel so much better. You're going to wake up, you're going to have more energy. Your cravings are going to go down. Your hunger is going to go down. I ask them how they feel about that. And usually they're so excited by day 3 that they just can't wait to get to day 4. And if they're struggling, if they've had some problems, then I'll call them again on day 4. I don't always call them on day 4. It's an individual thing, but some of the times I do. And then by the time they get to day 4, they're ready to go. And I've set up our weekly call schedule so that they know that we're going to talk every week. And I will ask them about the books, what they've learned, and so forth. Now, let me just quick share my screen so I can show you this document that Neva was talking just about. This is really great. I just started using this, and this does not replace the phone call. It's very important that you still make all your phone calls. Okay, now I can't get this small enough to share the document. Okay. Well, I guess I'm not going to share the document. Neva, can you share it? I'm back. I didn't share it.
Which one do you want, Karen?
The daily new client support messages. Do you have that?
Yes. I think
Okay.
I got it right here. Hang on.
I downloaded a new version of Zoom and it. There it is. This is really great.
The night before. Okay, so there's day 1. Day 1 message, day 2, you can see it, you can copy it. It's got your link for the support video. Easy peasy. You can add their own name in here to personalize it. And so this is all the way, and actually all the way beyond into day 5, day 6, day 7, and day 8. So again, that's going to be made available for everybody. Okay.
Thank you, Neva.
You're so welcome. Anything else you want to add there, Karen?
No, I think that'll do it for days 1 through 4.
Okay. All right.
Just as long as everybody remembers that if they send a message, a text a message or email them, it doesn't replace them hearing your voice. That's the most important thing, is to hear your voice.
And everybody, I know we're running a little bit long, but this is a fantastic call. There's so much information here. If you can't stay with us, feel free to drop off. We're going to keep going and we're going to record it. So the last segment of tonight's training is how to conduct and what to ask during the weekly coaching call. So Donnie's going to take us through that. Donni?
Thanks, Neva. You guys have done such an amazing job at going over everything already. When I do my weekly call checks, I ask 3 basic questions. And in the back office, there is a document that outlines the check-ins. And I'm not going to share the document today just for the sake of time. We will be posting it on the Power Winners page, but there are just 3 basic questions that guide my check-ins. The first question, whenever I get on the phone, I'm like, hey, how you doing? What are we celebrating in your health journey this week? And a lot of times people are so fixated on that number on the scale that if they didn't have a loss, they'll say there's nothing to celebrate, or, which rarely ever happens if you've been coaching for any period of time, but or they'll automatically go to that number on the scale and they say, I lost 4 pounds, woohoo! And I say, that's brilliant, that's exciting. So what else are we celebrating? Because I want them to start seeing that this is about retraining habits and it's not another diet. And so if they had a bad week, maybe the celebration is that they, fell off the wagon, but that they got back right on. Or they fell off the wagon and they felt miserable while they were doing it. They literally, not that they felt guilty, they just physically felt sick and they noticed that it really wasn't worth it. That's a reason to celebrate, I think. Okay. So I always ask them, what is it that we're celebrating? My clients are ready. When I get on the phone, they're like, okay, Donni, this week we're celebrating this. So that's the first question. The second question is, what did you learn this week? So sometimes they read something in Dr. A's book and they're going to share with me what they learned. Sometimes they learn that they can go out to dinner, have a good time, and not have the wine, or that they can go out for drinks with their friends and drink a Diet Coke instead. Or, there's so many different things that people learn. Or maybe that they learn that if they don't get enough sleep, then they are more hungry the next day. So I ask them, what did you learn? And then I poke and I prod if they don't answer anything. So I just try to think back, what are so many things that we need to be learning? And because I'm building a relationship with people, I kind of know what's been going on. And so I can kind of poke and prod in that direction. Does that make sense? We just really want to make sure that we're asking them and helping them see that this is a journey. This is not a diet. And so I asked them, what is it that you learned? The third question that I asked them is, what's coming up next? Is there anything this next upcoming week that may throw a curveball at you? And that could be maybe, you know, a celebration, Mother's Day, an anniversary, a birthday, whatever, a vacation. And so when they tell me, yes, so such and such is going to happen, I ask them another question. So one of the main things that I want you guys to take away from the check-in calls is that it's not about what you're going to tell them, it's about what you're going to ask them. Okay? So it's not our job to tell people what to do. It's our job to help them get what they want. And so we do need to be, we do need to have some tough love sometimes, in the sense that we can just say, hey, you said that this is what you wanted. Do you still want it? You know, we need to reflect things back to them, especially when they're struggling a little bit. But when somebody says, okay, I have a Mother's Day coming up this week, my next question is, that's exciting. So what's your goal for this event? Are you know, there's 3 games that you can play in life. You're the one that's always in control, and you get to choose which game you want to play. So do you want to play the weight loss game, the weight maintenance game, or the weight gain game? And I think that just starts posturing in their mind that Take Shape for Life is not a diet. It's not about the 5-in-1 plan. It's called Take Shape for Life, and I want to empower their choices, and I want them to see the connection between their goals and their actions, and that they have power over their actions, which means they have power over their goals. So usually when I ask them, which game do you want to play? Most of them say, I don't want to gain weight. I say, brilliant, that's awesome. So what are we going to do? So sometimes if they're going on vacation for a week, then they'll say, you know, I just really hope not to gain weight. And I say, okay, that's great. So how are we going to make that happen? And I ask them, what's the plan? I had this one client that had a very, very detailed plan. You know, she was talking about how, oh, I can't even remember all the details she had, but I was very amazed. But the point is that I asked her, what is your plan? If they don't have a plan, then I ask, can I offer you a suggestion? Okay. And if they say yes, then I say, okay, well, maybe if you're going on a cruise, you can choose to have the dessert once while you're on the cruise. Or you're going to choose to have either the wine or the dessert, right? And when you're going to continue eating every 2 to 3 hours, you know, maybe having your meals with you while you're there is going to help you control your hunger. When you eat, you know, so I kind of go over a couple of guidelines, but only after I've asked them what their plan is. Sometimes it's just a Mother's Day or, you know, just a one-day event thing, and they say, I want to lose weight. I say, awesome. So what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for you in terms of losing weight and sticking to the 5-in-1? And so they'll say, well, my mom makes my favorite dessert. And so we talk about how to get around that. And oftentimes I just ask them, why is it important for you to get through this holiday and lose weight? I just help them refocus on their why. And that once the why is big enough, the how doesn't, you know, it's almost irrelevant. They figure it out. They're like, I can eat my mom's dessert next week or next month or next year. It's all good. And when they come up with the answer themselves, when they realize that in their own head, they believe it. If you tell them, oh, you can have that dessert again next week, they'll be like, no. I'm never going to eat that dessert again. So you just want to ask questions to help them come to their own conclusions, because when they hear it from themselves, they believe it. And it's true. And it's real because they owned it. And so your job as a coach is simply to ask them questions to help them come to their own conclusions. You want to guide those conclusions in the path that's going to go towards their goals, right? But it's not about us telling them what to do. It's about helping them come up with the choices and the plan to get where they want to go. Any questions?
That was fantastic, Donni. And let's just go ahead and open it up. Anybody that does have a question for any of tonight's topics, feel free to unmute yourself and ask.
I have a question, Neva.
Sure.
About the virtual videos on our website. I've had clients that have not gotten in their email about, logging in for them. I mean, I put them in for their emails from Take Shape for Life when I set up their first order, but they're not getting those virtual videos sent to them. So I'm sending them to I send them the link to my website that has them, but unfortunately it's all of them. It's not just I can send them one at a time. Is there a link where we can send them just one at a time?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Can you put that on the Facebook page so we have those?
It's actually going to be in this document that we're going to put the links in, and I'll attach that so everybody has it. I put it out there once a while back, but it may be pretty buried by now. I'll add it again.
Okay, I thought so, but I couldn't find it, so I've been going right to my website. So, okay, thank you.
And
It's also, if I could just add, Eva, it's in the daily new client support messages. So each day when you're sending them a message, you can send the link to that video for that day. So it's in that document that she's uploading.
Yeah, but also it goes beyond that because it goes all the way up to 12 weeks. So if Betty's on, she wants to have somebody on week 6, she can send just that one too. So we've got options. We've got lots of options. We just need to know where to find these things. And what's really great is we now have a way to help get that information to you, I think, much easier. Also, I wanted to let you know, I forgot to tell you when I was going over the night before call, there is a role play video of somebody doing a night before call. So if you've never done one, you can watch that. But typically your business coach will take you through the first one or two so that you feel comfortable doing that. Okay, other questions? Yes, Debbie?
When I'm talking to them and starting them on the program, and I talk about our 1 to 4 day calls, I said, I'm always your happy call. So they already know that I'm not going to get mad at them, that they didn't eat every 3 hours or something like that. But I said, but I'm also your partner. So, and I'm not your mom. So, and that seems to work a little bit. I'm just saying, it's a path, we get on it, we'll just get right back on. And then I kind of go, if you're at that wedding and you're near the cake, call me and I'll help you off the wall. And that seems to make it funny. You know?
That's great. That's good. Anybody else, a question or comment?
I actually have a quick question. And just in respects to, do y'all ladies ever have anybody that doesn't take the night before call or doesn't take the days 1 to 4 calls? And in that case,
what do you
just basically, and I mean, now I know that we have all these great tools, so texting the information is really helpful, I know, so that they get those videos. But I'm just wondering, does that ever happen with you guys?
Of course, it happens to all of us. And I know some coaches even have a video of themselves doing the night before call, and that's a big time saver. But there's no guarantees that the client is watching that. It's the same as there's no guarantees they're going to be reading that email or anything else. So you do have to go and guide and coach them along and make it fun for them, like Debbie said, and try to encourage them. But absolutely, Sandy, and that's what I meant about when I have somebody that really sticks with me and works with me through that first night before call and the first 4 day calls, they are so much better of a client. They do so much better on the program than somebody that tries to avoid it. Oh, I know it. I read it. We all get those. And the best you
It's so much more fun when they, like she was just saying, when we partner up. So, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is that I actually posture that when I'm going to place the order. So when I place the order, I already tell them right off the bat that, excuse me, we need to talk the night before and that we're going to be connecting. And then I tell them, the clients that I'm able to connect with are the clients that do well. They're the clients that reach their goal. They're the clients that keep their weight off. Is that what you want? And they'll say yes. And I say, so, I promise you that our calls in that first week, they're going to be less than 5 minutes a piece. And especially after our first conversation, usually I place the order right after that first conversation, which is about 20 minutes long. And so I just want to assure them that every conversation is going to be very, very short, so they don't think I'm going to be taking over their schedule. And then I also, like Debbie was saying, I assure them that I'm not the food police. I'm not here to beat them over the head. And that we're always going to be celebrating something. So I set up the expectation for happy calls, for celebration. I call them celebration calls. And I also set up the expectation that if you want to be successful, we're going to connect. But you know what? I also tell them I'm one of the coaches that I don't call them on the night before because I want them to own their journey. I'm guiding them, but I need them to meet me halfway. They need to own their journey. That's how I feel about it. And so I tell them, when you receive your food, you need to give me a call. And so, I want, when I was a brand spanking new coach, if I called somebody on that first night and they didn't answer, I'd call them back in 30 minutes and I called them back in an hour and I called them back the next day. And I was like trying to hound them because I knew that they would do better if we connected. But then I realized that, they're going to do what they want to do. And so I'm making all the services available to them. I'm letting them know that this is how they're going to do well. And if they want it, they'll take advantage of it.
I learned at convention that sometimes they just like to hear our voice and they don't even pick up the phone. You can kind of just leave a message that you're happy for them. I know we can't connect, but we'll definitely connect tomorrow. And I think that really, really helps. But I have a story where she thought she knew everything, took all the tops off the food, did it by breakfast, lunch, and dinner, did everything, and hated the food. I said, well, we have to talk about it. I said, we can put some things away. Your friends recommended you to me because they love the peanut butter bars, and you're real estate agents, and you can't eat in homes when you show them. Okay? Didn't like anything, quit after a month. And to get a hold of her was a pain.
Yeah.
A pain. So, you try.
So the bottom line, Sandy, is I think we've all had those tough kind of clients, and we just try to be there for them and follow up with them and know that, if they're ready, they're going to come back and they're going to ask the questions. So, Donna, I think you had a question?
Yeah, I did have a question, but it went back to your input on the boot camp. When I was listening to Leadership Call Monday night, I was of the impression that they were going to have a new coach split off as well as a senior coach and above, which really gets people started. I thought that was a real exciting idea.
That is right. That is correct. Yeah. Which is different. This is really nice and something that's really convenient for a lot of coaches. So all the details will be out on Coach Connection sometime this week, they said. Thanks for that reminder, Donna. Okay, I think we've about, we maybe have a couple more minutes if somebody has one or two more statements to make. But I think this is a great call tonight, you guys, and lots of interaction. Any last comments? Okay, well, thank you all for coming tonight, and thank you for helping me present tonight, Beth, Karen, Donni, and we'll put the recording out and those links. And please, if you're not sure about it, please check in with your business coach so that you understand what they are. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.